Any announcements of action taken in closed session?
None at this point.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing. G1, public hearing for the school facility fee, justification report, and the proposed statutory level 1 fees. Are there any comments from the public? Being none, we'll close the public hearing. Then we'll go to G2. Sufficiency and availability of textbooks or instruction materials for CUSD students. Written oral comments will be heard at this time regarding the consideration of adopting of a resolution stating that the district is in compliance with Education Code Section 6119 pertaining to the sufficiency and availability of textbooks or instructional materials for all pupils in the Calexico Unified School District.
No comments.
No comments? Okay, we'll move to, that's it. Go to H. Public, any comments from the public?
Not at this time.
Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve.
Motion by Cito, seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Can I just say one thing? Thank you for the donations of the backpacks. I think that's very important.
Good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. I2, okay, that way helps everybody. Okay, now we'll go to informational items, superintendent's report.
So good evening, trustees, administrative team, and our community watching via live stream. So we're now in our 7th week of school, and we continue to successfully navigate and implement our distance learning plan. You know, we continue to follow our learning continuity and attendance plan, which was approved by the school board on September 22nd. In the next couple of weeks, we will be launching our Tutor Me program that provides all students access to a one-to-one tutor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are very proud of the service our wonderful staff continues to provide to our students, parents, and community. We thank our parents and community for their patience as we continue to provide a quality education to our students during this unprecedented time. I would like to give a huge shout out to our food services department for continuing to do an excellent job in feeding our students. Last week, our food services department served a total of 55,839 meals, which is amazing. So we are currently still in stage 1 of the new reopening plan put out by the California Department of Public Health. There are 4 tiers to the new plan with 1 color assigned to each tier. We are in the purple stage, which represents tier 1. In order to move out of stage 1 and to stage 2, we would need to meet the same metrics that were in place before. In order to be allowed to reopen schools, we need to move into the red stage and stay there for a period of 2 weeks without going back to stage 1. As of today, our positivity rate is at 9.4%. We need to be under 7% for 2 weeks before moving into the red tier. Due to the positivity rate being at 9.4%, our recommendation, as previously discussed with the board, is not to pursue waivers at this point and continue to provide an educational services via distance learning until it is deemed safe for our school sites to reopen. Once we move into the red tier and things look better, we will assess our ability to implement our hybrid model and start bringing in 25% of our students based on our current stage 1 purple status and the time it would take to transition smoothly. We realistically don't see us moving into a 25% model until probably after winter break, possibly around the 3rd week in January, assuming we move and stay in stage 2, which is the red tier. In the meantime, though, allowable in-person services for our highest need students are being implemented under very strict safety guidelines. Staff is reaching out directly to these families to schedule appointments. So as per our reopening plan that has been shared with the board, we are prepared to transition to a hybrid model when it is safe to do so, as determined by our local public health officer. We have our PPE equipment in place, such as the following. We have thermal scan machines at all the different sites, district office, and all the school sites and any facility of the district. We have plexiglass installed at all of our sites. We have storage containers for moving furniture, specifically student desks, out of the classrooms when going into a 25% model. We have bottle fillers installed at all of our sites. We have safety signage installed throughout as well. We have thermogenic foggers to rapidly disinfect classrooms. We have portable hand washing stations and an ongoing supply of face masks, face shields, glove, disinfecting wipes, and desk shields for students. So we have visited several sites as executive cabinet, and we have seen a lot of these things in place. And so we're confident in regards to our PP equipment being in place when we're ready to reopen. As of today, our enrollment is at 8,740 students, which is a slight decrease of 201 students from last year, in which we ended with an enrollment of 8,941 students. So our enrollment has been increasing steadily. We have increased 40 students since my last enrollment update to the board at our last board meeting on September the 10th. And we do want to congratulate all of our teachers and students who continue to virtually engage in all of their sessions via distance learning. Lastly, we are excited about all the virtual activities happening in October, such as Red Ribbon Week, Say No to Drugs, the Great California Shakeout, Anti-Bullying Month, Cancer Awareness Month, and so much more. So we do want to thank all of our staff for providing a rich experience to our students during this virtual learning. Some of the upcoming meetings, our next special board meeting will be on Thursday, October the 27th, and our next regular board meeting will be on Thursday, November the 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. Measure B update?
Okay, we have Mr. Dominguez here. Mr. Dominguez, you're live now.
Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, how about Kim?
What? Kim,
Go ahead.
Kim Desert?
Oh,
Can you speak again, Mr. Dominguez?
yeah, I see you. Kim should be logged in also.
Okay, let me on her right now. 2 seconds.
I can start the update real quick here with Building A while Kim's coming on.
We have Kim, Kim connected too, so we just need Kim to be unmuted, please. Thank you.
Okay.
You can go ahead and start.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening, board members, Superintendent Carlos. My name is John Dominguez. I'm working as your project manager for your Measure V projects. Kim Desert is one of my project managers that's sharing the duties of delivering your projects. I wanted to start with Building A. Your Oakview, the general contractor, is working diligently to complete their critical path in order to meet the requirements for the November 2nd, 2020 occupancy deadline. We reported out last month all the areas that have been were in the scope that were being completed. I can say that Silver Creek has completed 99.9% of everything. The only thing that we have left is the elevator inspection, which I spoke with the project manager from Silver Creek today, and she told me that they're going to try to get that scheduled for next week for the state to come out to do the inspection. All the Oakview's contract or Oakview scope, marker boards, site work, concrete, rubber tile in the corridors, on the flooring, the audio visual. I got to say, Eduardo's been very helpful with us getting that coordinated. The stair nosing, all of that is being installed. The furniture is in the classrooms. It's all in the center of the classroom while the contractors are working around the furniture right now. We have requested that the district admin participate in a punch walk on November 3rd of the facility. Any questions about the other thing I want to mention also is that Silver Creek did provide us with a agreement for a change order for a time extension. I want you to keep in mind there's two separate contracts. This the approval on the change order is relative to Silver Creek. Oakview has a separate contract. Silver Creek contract was, they asked for the extension, and once the April 30, it's April 30th, 2021 date hits for Building B, then Oakview's contract will kick in for the completion of their scope, and they'll have 90 days to complete that scope after April 30th, 2021.
Mr. Dominguez. Mr. Alvarado, Mr. Dominguez. Can you hear me? Hello, John, can you hear me?
John, can you hear us?
I'm not able to hear you very well.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear.
All right.
Okay, Kim.
John, real quick, just with those change orders, that way there's no monetary to them. It's just change orders as far as dates, no monetary to do with it, correct?
I have a really bad echo. Kim, can you translate for me? Can you tell me what?
Change orders, if there's any monetary change on the change order.
No, it's strictly a time change.
It's non-compensable.
That is correct. No fiscal impact.
So, John, this is Mike Castillo. Just a question, or Kim. So you mentioned April 30th and then 90 days after that. So that would be May, June, July. So potentially completed by next summer.
At the end of July, the second building will be completed.
Well, let me clear. Yes, that is correct. Now, remember, this is so important to remember that Oakview's contract, Oakview's timeline for completion is contingent upon Silver Creek. So we're going to be riding Silver Creek like mad on this project because they've got to deliver, and we have given them they have given us a delivery date. They have agreed to that April 30th, 2021 date. They had originally asked for June. We said no. We backed it up. We backed it up 2 months. So what we're going to do, we're going to ride them and hold them to that date. And, and then once they finish their project and the proposed date is April 30th that we're going to hold them to, then Oakview can go in and start their scope.
Are there, Cesar, and maybe you can help as well, potentially any delays due to COVID or other unforeseen?
Well, that's always unpredictable, Mr. Castillo, because, we don't know that. That all depends. That is all contingent as to what happens at that moment. Hopefully not, but that's something that we have to play by ear. So the end of July, so that's what I'm hearing then, John, right? That at the end of July, we should be able to utilize that building. Do you hear me?
Yes, that is correct, Caesar. It is proposed that by the end of July, that building will be open, barring no delays from any unforeseen conditions and any acts of God. That is correct.
So as a result of Silver Creek's delay, Oakview will also need to submit a change order to extend their timeline because, again, Oakview is impacted by SEI, Silver Creek, 45-day extension.
John, when is staging going to take place for the A2?
I'm not able to hear you. I'm sorry.
When are the next wave of modular buildings or steel frame buildings arriving for the second building?
As soon as we have confirmation from the district that the buildings for the 7 classroom reloads can be emptied, I can tell them that bring on those classrooms. The sooner the better.
So that will help our timeline.
Yeah.
Mr. Vega, have they started construction on those components to the?
So we have started
Over
the
here.
utility work here, but we're talking to Principal Williams to see if anybody's using those classrooms, and if so, can we find alternate classrooms that they can use so that we can start, getting them empty and getting them ready to be relocated.
Have they
If I
started?
may answer that question also, the answer is yes. We have started the foundation work for the relocation of the 7 classrooms. So as soon as we get confirmation that we can move this timeline up if we can get those classrooms emptied. But remember, Mr. De La Rosa made he did a really smart thing by allowing, by not taking that material out of those classrooms in the event that there was going to be a delay. And so those classrooms still have all of the furniture in them. I'm talking about the 7 classrooms that are going to be relocated. They still have all the furniture in there. And I would suggest that, if I may, that after the November 2nd date, and we have identified the teachers, or the district has identified the teachers of what teachers are going to go into those new classrooms at the bottom floor, at seven staff members, then we can go ahead and take everything out of those classrooms, and then start the dismantling of them so they can be moved along once we get those foundations completed. And okay, so we're looking at starting the move for those buildings right now, according to our schedule, in December.
So my question was specifically, I think it's Silver Creek, have they begun or when will they begin construction on those modular components off-site?
So those are already done. So, John, what Mr. Castillo is asking, when is SEI going to start building the modular buildings or the components for the next building that will be there? And my response to him, correct me if I'm wrong, but those buildings are already done and built. They're just waiting for them to be, transferred here.
The district owns those buildings. They're ready to be moved. They are constructed.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, RFP committee, I guess we'll skip it. Since Lencho's not here.
Correct.
Any questions on the accounts payable pre-list? Being none, we'll go to G5, board reports. Mr. Castillo?
Yes, thank you. And again, good evening, everyone here and online. I think, just wanted to say that, again, very pleased with the construction projects that are happening as we've shared, as the districts have shared and keeping us updated. I think I've had the opportunity to try and visit one campus about once a week, I think, with Mr. Gonzalez. For about the last month, just to see how things are going, observe some of the classrooms construction, the food handling, so very pleased to see that. It's good, we do this early in the morning before staff, the small amount of staff arrive. But I get a chance to see some of the improvements happening at sites and the restrooms and preparation for that day when the schools do reopen. It's great to see the partitions and plexiglass installed in work areas, offices. Very professional, well done, by our employees. So, a few employees coming in voluntarily, of course, some of the staff, and we follow all social distancing and protective equipment ourselves. But it's nice to see again the preparations going on, the comments that we're hearing from staff that are on campus. Very pleased with what's happening, feeling very supportive. So again, it gives us a chance to see on the ground what's happening. Same thing with our addition here. I think all of us have had an opportunity, just about, or an invitation to walk through the buildings, and we had a chance to do that this week. And I won't say much more, at least maybe something for you to share. But I think one thing I know we've had an opportunity to talk to a lot of individuals, a lot of parents recently. Mr. Alvarado and I last night with some parents. There was great interest in parent involvement. And I think that's important and maybe something we can revisit. I don't know if we've had a chance to talk about that recently. We do get updates and things happening, but maybe spend a little more time focusing on that. And it could be that, we have more of a parent involvement initiative, or I'd ask maybe next month in November if we could get a report for the board just on some of the activities occurring with parent involvement, the plans for this year across all programs, migrant, SPED, Gen Ed. But again, I think that's maybe a focus we need to revisit. There's programs out there, PIQE came up again as an example, the migrant parent groups as examples. So I think what we're hearing in the community is interest in parent involvement, especially during this COVID time. It's very challenging. Parents are interested in hearing and trying to be involved with their schools, but again, it's hard. But I think I'd like to request that we kind of focus on that, visit that. Again, we heard some really good comments, Mr. Alvarado and myself, recently this week. But requesting that, I think, for a month, some information or presentation about that, and then maybe what our plans are for this coming year.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarado.
Thank you. Yeah, just along those lines, there was something that came up in regards to that PK, and that's something that I think we should go ahead and look in and try to get some type of information on that. If they could give us some type of update or some type of presentation to see what it is and what it offers for our parents. Along that line, I just want to go ahead and thank everybody that's joining us right now live streaming, and everybody that's here. Also for, like Mr. Gonzalez said, our food preparers. They're doing a great job, and they're making sure that our students are being fed out there in the community. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Everybody stay safe. I know things are be coming up with Halloween and stuff like that. We still haven't got no direction as far as that goes from the county. But just be safe, whatever it is you guys decide to do. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Calderon.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you're seeing us live on today, I want to thank all personnel. I will spend the whole meeting naming each one of the people in this district that has done a wonderful job at taking care of our students. It's a lot of people were saying before this started, well, online teaching is going to be easy. It's the other way around. Teachers spend more time than what they spent back in the day when they were teaching in class. Staff at the schools, they have to take care of all those requests, the paperwork sometimes not only in school but when they go home. So this online era of teaching has proven to be a difficult one. However, we have proven to the public, we have proven to the parents, we have proven to the people of Calexico that it can be done. Okay, as the only district, I believe, in the valley that has provided the one-on-one devices to all of our students, and us being the biggest district in the county, I think we have proven once again that Calexico has done a great job taking care of its students. So I want to thank everybody, from the superintendent all the way to the day one janitor or secretary or teacher. Everybody in between deserves to an applause for the good job that they've been doing on these last months. It hasn't been easy. Going back to what the Kiki and Mike said about PIQE, yes, it's a great program. I worked with PIQE back in 2004, 2005 at the county office, and it's a great program. It's a great way to engage parents. Because basically if you are the PIQE coordinator or if you are the person doing the program, basically you're teaching the parents how to navigate the school system. So it is a great program. It is a great way to get parents engaged. So so Mr. Gonzalez, maybe we need to get on this maybe next month after we calm down and figure out what we're gonna do for second semester. But I do suggest that we take advantage of this program if the county if the county's offering still offering PIQE. Mike, do you know? I don't know. I don't know if they still offering the program, but we need to take advantage of that. Okay. So once again, like my counterparts stated, stay safe. This will pass. Okay, this is not gonna be forever. So stay home and be safe. And like I said, this will pass and we will all go back to normal. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I want to thank, we're facing challenging times, and I want to thank all the district employees, from the district office to the groundskeepers to everyone. And also the parents have been very supportive of us. We're facing challenging times, and it's not, as Mr. Calderon said, it's not easy doing this virtual. I know some teachers that work too late in the night, getting their things ready. So we'll keep trugging along, and we'll get through this. Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll go to action items. K1, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Pear Deck for software subscription for the 2021 school year.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved by Cito, seconded by Castillo. All those in favor say aye. Aye, unanimous, thank you. K2, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Dennis Wolliver Kelly Attorneys at Law for professional services for 2021 school year.
I need to make a clarification on this one, Board President Romero.
Okay,
So this is actually a 3-year contract. The attachment does have the 3-year contract. It's just the way it was worded in the action item, but it is a 3-year contract, just to
so
the board.
2020 to 2023?
Correct.
Okay, is there a motion?
So move.
Made by Alvarado,
I'll
Second.
second what a comment.
seconded by
So-
Cito.
So this is just, okay. Okay, okay, I'm looking, okay, never mind, no. So question answer, thank you.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. K3, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and CalSAC Cipher Work for software license agreement to provide and professional development services to expand the learning staff.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alvarado, seconded by Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K4, agreement to Calexico Unified School District and Maria L. Rodriguez, independent consultant, to provide professional translation services between July 1st, 2020 to June 30, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Castillo, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K5, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and Sanders Inc. for architectural services.
Board President Romero, we have 2 public comments on this item.
Okay.
Ladies first, I guess.
Thank you, Ben. You're very kind. Thank you. Good afternoon, esteemed board members of the Calexico Unified School District. My name is Belinda Alvarado. I am the chair for the Measure Q Election Committee, and I am also part of the Measure V Oversight Committee. I would like to express my thoughts regarding the contract extension with the firm Sanders Inc. It is my desire to let you know that I am hopeful that you will extend this contract for the benefit of the continuation of the future projects and the continuity of what has been started at the Calexico High School. As you know, Mr. Sanders represents a firm that has worked successfully with the rest of the team that heads the modernization effort of the high school. Working in a facility project is no easy task. But I just want to mention a few points that are important for you to know why I support this contract extension. As you know, Mr. Sanders represents a firm, and as a local architect firm, they understand the geographic conditions of the Imperial Valley. This modernization project needs an architect that understands the program needs and the development of educational specifications. Dealing with the state specifications and intricacies is no easy task. This firm has demonstrated their ability in this area to move the project forward. This project needed an architect that could deliver, an Office of Public School Construction and Division of the State Architects and California Department of Education approved seismic project under the State Facility Hardship Program, which you know that the culinary arts use this program, and the new Measure Q projects will also use the same program. So with this said, we are fortunate that with your support, Mr. Sanders' firm can continue to work and help us once again get approved for the same program. We also need a local architect that is less than 30 minutes away from the district's construction project. This is very important and many times overlooked. Other firms would not make the trip for construction meetings or other important meetings. That architects need to be involved in the project and without charging, because Mr. Sanders does not charge for this. Or they would rather not come at all because of the long trips. This is another important example why this firm is so important for the continuity of the project. Keeping the continuity of the current facility team is very important. They are successful, they have delivered, and they are proven. Let's keep the continuity and symmetry going in the design of the CHS. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished members of the Calexico Board. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What I'd like to talk about is performance. Performance speaks more than anything that I could say about the person. Let me give you some examples. School experience in Imperial Valley. Sanders have been involved throughout the valley. For example, Calexico, Central High School Screen Building, 2020. De Anza Multipurpose Cafeteria Building, 2020. Imperial Valley College Science Building, 2014. Imperial Valley College Career Center, 2016. Cross Elementary School, 2019. Frank Rice Middle School, 2010. Kaufman Middle School, 2012. Raleigh High School Multipurpose Gymnasium, 2009. Imperial High School Library and Science Lab, 2013. Extended measures for Measure V, success for Measure Q project. All of the Measure V projects that have been completed or will be completed have been a great success. And I might point out, no cost overruns. The extension of Sanders agreement will extend the success of Measure V projects to the proposed Measure Q. Success projects completed by Sanders for the Calexico Unified School District. Recent years. Ward field renovation, lights, bleachers, and all-weather track. A1 Ward field parking lot renovation. Garfield Gym, that includes ventilation, heating, and air conditioning, and roof replacement. Garfield Gym modernization, phase 1, under construction. Warner's Gym modernization, pool and locker room addition. Culinary art modernization, A2, A3, 12, and 16 classroom modules, buildings added, under construction. Jefferson School modernization, high school water sewage line replacement project. Work in process. All projects proposed to be included in the agreement are under construction, are in the design or construction document phase. Extension of the proposed agreement will allow Sanders to complete the projects that are currently under construction and the completion of the projects already in design and construction document phases. Schedules. The extension of the Sanders agreement will save 9 months off the preparation of plans for the DSA approved process for the proposed Measure Q projects. The same time saving will allow the school to bid and schedule construction contract scope, resuming in overall cost saving to the projects. Continuing, and this is continuing, the continued success of Measure B has established district standards that the whole valley is looking at. Sanders has been a very vital part in the establishment and improvement of district construction standards. The extension of the Sanders agreement will allow for continued movement forward with the proposed Measure Q. The proposed project will continue establish construction standards, measuring the quality of the architect, finishing, and standard for the plumbing fixtures, the habitat for the air conditioning, ventilation, and air conditioning systems, lighting, energy measures, natural lighting for classroom, door, hardware, card access, which would be the safety part for the buildings and throughout the school, and video surveillance for the system.
Mr. Horton, you've already exceeded your time. You're close to 5 minutes, I think.
Oh, okay, I'll finish it up. One of the things that we have to have is a success. No plans is a formula for failure. I implore you to approve this agreement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Motion by Kiki. There was no motion yet? Okay, is there a motion on the floor?
No, I'll make a motion, but, I have a question in regards to the contract. What's the time of the contract? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? That's my question that I have currently.
Is to complete projects that are pending. So if it takes 1 year, 2 years, is by project completion.
Well, I'll make a motion for 1 year, extension for 1 year, right now at this time.
The way the master agreement is being set up is to complete a number of projects that are right now pending. For instance, the Borderlink project. You know, we're trying to get to DSA to get everything approved, but if it doesn't get done within, you know, if it's just a year, and if it doesn't get done until a year and a half later, then we're gonna be obligated to stop.
Well, Mr. Vega, then at that
hold
point,
on, I made the motion, so I withdraw my motion.
but no, hold on, Kiki. A 1 year extension, if we need more time, we can extend it again. So,
Okay, if you want, if you want to make a motion, but I think that's, that doesn't work. But if you want to make a motion, if that's your motion, go ahead and we'll vote for it. If there's a second. Because it's not, it doesn't make sense to just do it for 1 year. This is, I would say, 3 years, you know. This is what we're looking at for the other projects. It's not gonna be done overnight.
So if this contract doesn't get approved right now, and we can talk to legal, the attorney that created this contract, it's outside. He can clarify more information that you may have. But I have to put a stop to everything. And that's gonna create a delay now on us, on the projects.
No, correct, but if we were to extend it for a year, come back, then the following year, there's not gonna be no lapse as long as we keep on making sure that everything's being done, correct?
let me bring in Sam so that he can talk about, this is a master service agreement that is by, specific by project. So project have different timelines. So like I said, I couldn't, for instance, the 16th classroom and the 12th classroom building. This, if you only approve a year, what if it gets delayed?
Oh, so we can't extend it one more year at that point?
The way the contract is structured is by project, regardless of time. Can I bring in Sam so he can expand on that?
Sure.
Always doing the same thing.
Hey, good evening, son.
So Sam, there's a question on the table about a 1-year extension to this agreement. Is that allowed under the current frame of the contract?
To his current agreement?
No,
Or
to the new
new-
one that is up for board approval.
Yeah, I mean, you can extend it,
Okay.
if you wanted to. So, I mean, ultimately, it's limited to 5 years maximum. So you could, if you wanted to, issue a 5-year contract. But every time it comes back to you, it's up for renewal, and that's a new term. So you could extend it for an additional year at any point if you wanted
So we
to.
could make a motion for 1 year with the possible extension of another year, correct?
Absolutely, if you wanted to.
That was me only.
Okay, motion by Kiki.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for 1 year with the possibility of extending for another year.
I'll second.
And a question, Sam, a question as well before, so I know there's a motion for 1 + 1, sounds like, and in the contract, there's also escape or release language as well. It can always be canceled.
I mean, under different circumstances, it's gonna be different types of termination. So, yeah, there's termination for convenience, termination for cause. There are those provisions. The way we set this particular agreement up is as a master contract. So that means that these terms and conditions are going to apply to any and all projects that are assigned to this architect. And so, let's say, you know, you give him a 1-year contract. At that point, he doesn't really have anything to do unless we're also approving these supplementals. So each project that we assign to him as a district is gonna be covered by a supplemental agreement, which is like a 1 or 2 pager that has what's the scope of the work that you're doing right now, what's the fee for this particular scope. And so we kind of set it up that way so that it's easier to track on a project-by-project basis. And so when you approve it for 1 year with the 1-year extension, you're approving the master contract, but then you're still going to have to assign him projects under this supplemental framework. So project A is gonna have, you know, supplemental agreement A, project B. So it's not just like he's gonna be going to work and doing all these things without your knowledge. It's gonna be very discrete projects that are assigned, under this master contract.
So this was set up as a 5-year contract then, 5-year contract, right?
Yes.
Therefore, but we can, even though we approve a 5-year contract, remove it if there's any cost to remove it.
Absolutely, yeah, or,
You know, failure to perform or whatever.
Yes.
absolutely, yeah. So let's say you give him a 5-year contract, you say, okay, we're gonna give you these 3 projects to work on under these supplementals. Those may take a year and a half, whatever. At that point, after those 3 are done, then it's up to you whether you wanna keep assigning projects to him moving forward. So even before you get to termination, if you don't assign a project, for example, then there's really.
So we would choose to assign him
Yeah.
projects.
So this contract, in essence, Mr. Board President, has a lot more safeguards for the district,
Yes.
and it's project specific. If he doesn't perform a project, we are under no obligation to give him another one.
Exactly. So it just, you know, it makes sense to me, give him a 5-year contract, but the motion is to go with a year and a year increase. There's second, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Sanders as written here, as presented.
I second the motion. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay. So I guess it's,
Well, I was gonna table it because all 5 of us weren't here, but I thought we were gonna go ahead and approve it, so that's the reason why I went forward with it, but it's a no. It's a no. I can't extend it for 5 years, sorry.
So then, Sam, what happens now? There is no approval, so what's gonna be the impact now to the projects? Because without an architect, now we're putting the district in a huge liability.
You know what, and we already voted?
no, let him talk. Let him talk, please
I think
enlighten us.
I think it's important that the board understand that this can put the district in a big liability because Sanders is the architect of record.
Correct.
The DSA approved plans, the state submittal for state reimbursement, there's a lot at stake that now we, the district, will not be able to go, forward. If I don't have an architect tomorrow, then I have to let Silver Creek, Oakview, and every other project that I have under contract to stop. So, I mean, just, am I wrong on that assessment?
So how are we doing it? How are we doing it right now, Cesar? If his last agreement expired on October 1st, he's actually working without a contract now for 7 days, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. How long did you know that his contract was going to be expired since October 1st?
For about a month. So about a month, but remember, this contract is.
The reason why I want 1 + 1 is for a simple fact, because I want to make sure that we're not doing something that we're not supposed to. I want to make sure that it's reviewed and stuff like that. I wanted to see the whole contract as it was. I did see it, but I didn't complete seeing it everything. So that's why I asked for a 1 + 1. All right? If after the year he does good and stuff like that, or does everything he's supposed to, I'll extend it for the 5th year. That's not a problem. The thing is, and that's why I asked, and that's why the attorney's saying that we can. Correct?
You can what?
We could go ahead and extend it, and after that year, before that year's up, we could say, you know what, he's doing an excellent job, let's go ahead and just extend it for the 5th year.
Absolutely, yeah, you could. But, like I mentioned, the contract is set up so that even if it's 1 + 1 or it's 5, it's still on a project-by-project basis that he's gonna get work assigned to him, so.
Oh, I totally understand
Yeah,
that.
it's not just like he's gonna have 5 years worth of work or 2 years worth of work, so.
So I just have a quick question, Sam. So, and this is just for clarification. So it's a 1 + 1, and so let's say that, Mr. Alvarado, just a question in regards to, let's say he's given two assignments or projects to do. And the assignments go maybe a year and a half, a little over the year. Would that still be something that he would still continue to help and support us so we don't fall in a predicament that the project, that specific project, has no architect, if that makes sense?
I mean, if we assign him a project that's a year and a half long, then I think essentially we're giving him that year and a half to finish the project.
Okay. And the reason I mentioned that, Mr. Alvarado, and for the rest of the board is, he is working on quite a few projects.
No, correct.
But just if there's 2 projects that maybe go over a year, just for there's clarity that, there is a contract for 1 year, probably potentially after that, he will be issued no more projects. However, he still needs to finish the projects that he's been given for the district.
Can I just add something real quick, Carlos?
Yeah.
I think Jimmy's doing an excellent job. They're doing an excellent job. My thing is I just want to make sure that I review everything. I don't want to dive into something that I haven't reviewed everything 100%. That's the reason why I stated I was on the table, because I want to make sure all 5 of us were here. But with that said, that's the reason why I made that motion. It's not saying that he's not doing he is doing an excellent job. The thing is, I can't agree to a 5-year contract right now without making sure everything's being reviewed the way it's supposed to. We knew that contract was going to expire on October the 1st. Here we are on October the 8th, and we're diving into something that, is going to be 5 years and stuff like that. I'm not saying I don't have confidence in him. That never came out of my mouth. My mouth is what I said. I want to give him a 1 year + 1. It didn't pass, so the other one didn't pass. So I think now we have to bring it back on the 22nd, correct, for a special board meeting?
Sam?
Yeah, if you want to approve a contract, you have to put it on the agenda, so that would be the next board meeting.
And Carlos, this is not the first time that you put us in a situation like this, that we have to vote on something pressing. He just said that he's known that the contract was going to expire. We were never warned, well, you weren't, because I was never warned about this. So, again, Don't try to pressure us to sign something, because that's what's happening. So I'm not gonna keep quiet about that anymore. You guys knew that it was expiring. You guys didn't do anything about it. They didn't warn us.
We were negotiating the terms of the agreement with the architect. There was a lot of legwork that needed to be done for us to put this document together.
Okay, so it's,
So now what do I do, Sam? The board needs to know what happens now if I don't have an architect until the 22nd or at all.
Yeah,
what are the implications now?
well, I mean, all ongoing projects have to stop in terms of architectural works or any of the ongoing design work, and that type of project that he has ongoing has to stop. Any construction projects where he's actively involved in reviewing the request for information or change orders. If you don't have anyone to cover that as your representative, your design representative, then those would
Sam, so what happened
be
between
delayed.
what happened between the 1st and the 8th? What happened between then? Was he still then at the site without a contract?
Well, I think it was gonna be kind of ratified tonight if it would have been approved.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Do you understand what I'm telling you now?
yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing that I
No.
Okay, so the projects will be stopped then? Okay, so,
if that's what it is, I mean, the projects are gonna be stopped then.
yeah.
Okay.
Cause I'm not gonna agree to a 5-year, so just to let you guys know right now.
Can we find a compromise? Can you give me 2 years?
That's what I'm saying. I gave it.
No,
I mean,
can you go 2 and 1? We got
I'm willing to give you 2 years, Cesar, 2 years.
that will
I
give me
think
time to finish
it's
what I
good.
need to
'Cause
have.
I think at a year and a half, I think that's what we're looking at.
Yes.
That's why I said a 1 plus a 1.
That would help me in finishing up what I need to finish with the projects that I have at hand.
I'm willing to give you a 2-year, if that's what you're asking for right now, and I'll give you a 2-year.
That's what I'm asking the board to support me with a 2-year agreement at least,
two
so that I
plus
can
one?
finish up.
2 plus 1?
I mean, the more the merrier, but if 2 is the bottom line, I mean, I will take it.
Are you willing to compromise for 2 plus
I'm
1?
willing to compromise at a straight 2, yes,
Straight to.
straight 2. And if we need to come back before then, I'm
Mhm.
willing to come back if I'm still here. If not, then the new person coming in, because you know what, there might be a new board coming in and stuff like that, and that's the reason why,
Okay, is there another motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion for 2 years.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Unanimous, thank you. Case 6. First reading of revised administrative regulation 4119.11, sexual harassment personnel.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alvarado, seconded by Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. First reading of revised administrative regulation 5145.7.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Motion by Castillo, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K8, first reading of administrative regulation 5145.71.
Title 9.
Yeah, I'll
Title
go ahead and make the
nine.
motion. I'll make the motion, Richard.
Second.
Seconded by first by Alvarado, seconded by Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K9, first reading of administrative regulation 4119.12, sexual harassment complaint procedures.
I'll move.
Moved by Cito,
Second.
seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K10, first reading of revised board policy administrative regulation 514122, infectious diseases.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll
Moved by-
second.
Moved by Castillo, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K11, second reading of revised administrative regulation 5125.2, withholding grades, diploma, or transcripts.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Cito, seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K13, second reading of revised board policy and exhibit 6163.4, student use of technology.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Kiki.
Oh, it was a motion by me, seconded by.
Motion
Cito.
by Kiki.
And
Oh, by
second.
Cito,
No.
seconded by Cito, yeah. Motion by Kiki, seconded by Cito. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K-14? I lost track.
No,
Okay, I'm sorry. Second reading of revised board policy in Exhibit 6163.4, student use of technology.
move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Cito, seconded by Michael. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K-14, second reading of new board policy 0470 COVID-19 mitigation plan.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Castillo, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K-15, second reading of revised board policy 5145.7, sexual harassment students.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Calderon, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, unanimous, thank you. K-16, second reading of revised board policy 411911, sexual harassment personnel.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Calderon, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. Quarterly report on Williams uniform complaint, October 2020.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion by Castillo, seconded by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. K-18, proclaiming Red Ribbon Week on October 31, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Kiki, seconded by Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K-19, Silver Creek Industries change order for 45 non-calendar day extension of time to complete the project for Calexico High School. 12 and 16 classroom modular building project.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Calderon, second by Bernardo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K-20, variable term waiver 2021 school year for Marine Croak.
Humberto Felix.
Huh?
Marine Cook, Humberto Felix, and Daniel W. Johnson.
So I'll make a motion to approve K-20 as written.
Motion by Castillo,
Second.
seconded by Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank
I'm gonna abstain.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
Okay, one abstention.
yeah.
By Alvarado. K-21, resolution approving school facility justification report and authorizing increase in statutory level 1 fees.
Mhm.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Kiki, seconded by Calderon. Roll call. Michael?
Yes.
Kiki?
Yes.
Cito?
Yes.
Aye, yes. Unanimous, thank you. K-22, resolution regarding compliance in Education Code Section 6119, as revised by Chapter 118, Statutes of 2005 in California Code of Regulations, CCR, Title 5, Section 9531, regarding sufficiency of textbooks and instructional materials.
So moved.
Second with a comment.
Moved by Kiki, seconded by Calderon.
Comment. Carlos, so we haven't received any complaints about students not having sufficient materials, right? Or textbooks or the Chromebooks and all that, right?
No, we have not, and we opened it for public hearing just in the event that there were any concerns, and there were none.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, roll call vote.
Yes.
Michael, yes.
Yes.
Kiki?
Yes.
Cito, yes. Myself, yes, unanimous, thank you. K-23, certificated employment report.
Make a recommendation that the board approve the certificated report as submitted.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Castillo.
Second.
Seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. K-24, classified employment report.
I'd like to make a recommendation that the board approve the classified employment report as submitted.
So moved.
Motion by Kiki,
Second.
seconded by Cito. All those in favor say aye.
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 Unanimous, thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Kiki, seconded by Cito.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.